Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. My name is Sean Dex and I'm back to you today with another Bitcoin USD analysis video. In our last video, we talked about how Bitcoin was closing the all-important monthly, the all-important weekly, and the pretty goddamn important two-day candle. So, all of those being closed, we do have some important things to talk about today ourselves. So, let's get on over here to our charts. We do have the two-day open over here, so we will start with that. So, a quick recap. What have we been talking about? We were looking at this two-day candle over here, right? We are looking at it, and a lot of people are calling that as the mega reversal bearish candle. But we said, nope, not here at Mango until we do see follow through to the downside. We do not have confirmation of this being a reversal candle, right? So, let's go ahead and remove that now. What did we see instead? We closed that two-day candle this weekend, and instead we saw a pretty bullish candle, in fact, because we took out the top of the previous candle close. We were looking for follow through to the downside, either close underneath the previous candle, which was sitting around 11,144-ish, but we didn't do that. We closed above 11,756, and that was relatively bullish. And just looking at that, you could have looked for a move to the upside, right? But we were waiting for the weekly candle close too. Now, for the two-day to have been extremely bearish, we'd be needing to close under 10,337, but we did not do that. Over here, the rains are getting pretty bad too, so I hope my internet holds up for this video. That being said, let's get on over to the weekly and see what we have going on over here. Come on, low. Okay, there we go. So the internet's pretty fine for now. Okay, on the weekly, as you can see, while the two-day closed pretty goddamn well, the weekly close horribly bearish. Like, I don't want to say bearish just yet though, right? You could call this bearish because you don't typically see these kind of reversal candles on the weekly without follow through, but that just means typically, right? Doesn't mean we must have followed through to the downside. Over here at Mango, we're still gonna wait for confirmation, and for confirmation we're gonna wait for the week to take out this low over here at around 10,311, which actually matches up with the two-day candle from the previous two-day candle over here, right? This reversal candle, which is really interesting, because this was your reversal candle on the two-day, and then when you saw it, we were looking for us to take down 10,300, but instead you saw a bullish continuation candle. Now on the weekly, are we seeing the same scenario here, where we are seeing a reversal candle, but for continuation to the downside, we need to take out 10,311, but will we see this week move to the upside? That just makes things really difficult, because we have to wait again, and we may actually have to wait an entire week to get confirmation on a move to the upside, but not entirely, right? We can go back to our two-day and see what's going on over here. What is the two-day telling us now? We have a new two-day candle, and I think we're closing this tomorrow. Yep, we are. And currently, the two-day is postured pretty bearish. I wouldn't say too bearish, but it has taken out the low of its previous candle. Now, what we are looking for to see is if Bitcoin can reclaim the 11,102-ish area. So if we can close over 11,150-ish, the two-day is going to look fine, and we have almost 12 hours before that happens, but around this, right? A lot can happen. Bitcoin has been bouncing around on the lower time frames pretty aggressively. So let's go ahead and look at the lower time frame and see what's happening. And in my opinion, a lot will be told over here, because you can see that Bitcoin has been holding up this area over here pretty well. We have there and there. Okay, so this zone over here, as long as Bitcoin holds this zone over here, I don't see things looking too badly on the lower time frames. This could just very well be a re-happening, if that's the right word to use, of this scenario over here, right? Where we made the drive up, okay, kind of made a second drive, but didn't really get too far, right? Kind of like what we may do over here or over here. That's already happened. Make a second drive down, adjust that, make a second drive down, accumulate. So here we have the 1 hour, and let's look at what happened in the past few hours, or rather yesterday, right? As you can see in this zone over here, what was going on? You can see that we were making higher low, right? And now what you want is the bulls to also either one, maintain their higher highs or make higher highs, the highs that they already have, or make higher highs. But instead, what you saw was happening was that the bulls were failing to make higher highs, and they were in fact making higher lows, right? You had a higher high over here, right? So you had a high, high, and then failed to make another higher high. What happens in those scenarios is you end up in a squeeze situation, which typically forms a symmetrical triangle, if you want to call it that. Now, what matters more important here is not really the pattern, but the psychology of what is going on. And these do have measured moves depending on which side they break. And you can see over here clearly, you can actually take it from somewhere around here, right? Clearly, the bears won this. They broke to the downside, and what was the measured move? We got down all the way down to 10,807, and we are holding that position now in this zone, right? So what am I looking for now? Now it looks like we are putting in another formation somewhere around something like this, I believe we could be doing that. Yeah, I think we're doing something like this now. So let's go ahead and see how this pans out. We're putting in a channel here that could very well break to, this could break to the upside. Yeah, this could break to the upside. So what is going on here? The lower time frames, are we just simply accumulating and getting ready and posturing for move to the upside? Well, I don't want to be making calls on the low time frames, but Bitcoin has been really setting itself up on the low time frames, and as long as we are holding these positions over here, these horizontals, I am not going to get too aggressive, or I'm not going to be looking for a move to the downside. Okay, that being said, I do have one thing to talk about, which is pretty interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up right now. Alright, so here we have BTC USD shorts on Bitfinex, right? As you can see, we have this massive red candle that happened this morning, and I got a couple of messages from you guys asking if this is an indication as to whether we are going to see a massive dump on Bitcoin. And my answer to that is no. In fact, this should actually mean the opposite. You should see price go up when you see a big red candle like this on the short charts. Okay, this is BTC USD shorts. Essentially, right? What is happening here? What people think that this is red and this is bad. Red doesn't mean bad, guys. When you see a red candle, what it means on the BTC USD short side, okay, on the BTC USD short side, when you are seeing a red candle, what it means is people are either one, getting liquidated from their positions, or two, they're covering their positions or taking profits, right? Now, let me explain how margin trading essentially works for people who are new to this. I'm going to keep this very simple and brief. Okay, when you are putting on a margin trade, you are essentially going over to the exchange and saying, hey, can I borrow some Bitcoin from you? Now, your plan when you borrow that Bitcoin is to sell it onto the market almost immediately, right? And you hold on to the cash instead. Your goal or your aim is to see Bitcoin drop in price so that you can buy back more Bitcoin when it does. So again, to recap, okay, you borrowed around 10 Bitcoin from the exchange. Now you sold it and you're going to buy back around 11 Bitcoin with the same money that you sold and got, right? So borrowed 10 and you bought back 11. Your profits is 1 Bitcoin, but you still owe them 10 Bitcoin, right? When you buy back the Bitcoin, you're buying back from the market to be able to pay back the exchange. So think about that for a second. Every time you put on a margin trade, to be able to take profits, or cover your position, you need to buy back on the market to be able to pay back the broker, right? Or to pay back the exchange, to keep it simple. Okay. So with that being said, and I hope you guys get it. With that being said, if somebody either got liquidated for such a huge position, okay, that's how much is that? That's around 20,000 coins, more than 20,000 coins. That's to the tune of around $200 million, guys. More than $200 million. This is a freaking huge wet raven sitting on my balcony right now. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's around $200 million. If someone covered $200 million position, why did price not go back up? Because you guys got to understand, they actually had to buy back that Bitcoin from the market to be able to go and pay that to the exchange, right? And when I saw this and I saw price not go up, I was like, what the hell is going on? This has to be hogwash. But then I thought about it for a bit and I realized that there's another way that they can they can do this. There's another way. You can see a huge red candle and price not actually move, and this is when you claim your position. And essentially what you're doing over there is you will go back and give them the Bitcoin that you owe them, but you're not going to buy it from the exchange. You're not going to buy it from the market. Okay, you're not going to buy Bitcoin from the market to cover your position or take profits. What you're going to do is you're going to use your own Bitcoin. You're going to use your own Bitcoin from your own goddamn wallet to cover that position. Okay, so think about that. Somebody actually had that amount of Bitcoin, around 20,000 Bitcoin, to say like, you know what, instead of staying short, or instead of covering my position or taking profits or whatever, I am going to just give you Bitcoin, so that way, one, and maybe he doesn't want to push the market price up and he wants to accumulate, or two, I don't want to get into all of that right now, because I do want to keep this video really short, but here's the question, guys. Here's the question: if you have a huge short position, because this was a huge short position, okay? If you have a huge short position, okay, and you see a weekly candle that looks like this, right? Pretty bearish, and the 2-day now is also looking pretty bearish, right? It's everything's going in your favor. Why would you be covering your position? Okay. Something is up, and that has bullish implications instead of bearish. So again, you don't want to be trading off that stuff, but it's just things to keep in mind. It's just things to keep in mind before you get too bearish or bullish. So we will still wait for confirmation, and we will still wait for certain things to pan out. For example, we can wait for the weekly to close again. Okay, in the meantime, just be patient, or one of two things. For the 4-hour, you can look at the 4-hour and wait for 4-hour to close underneath the zone over here that we saw, or you could look at the 2-day and wait for the 2-day to take out its bottom at around 10,300. So on the 4-hour, you're looking for 4-hour candles to close below 10,636 to 10,300, or the 2-day to close over there, or even tick. If the 2-day even ticks over there, pretty much be the same thing, right? Or you could just be very safe and wait for the next weekly candle, because then we will know for sure as to what is going on. Okay, I'm going to keep this video really short, because a guest that I've been waiting for just showed up at my door. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, or I will do a follow-up to this video later this evening. My name is Sean Dexter, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, hey, throw a like, throw a subscribe as usual. And if you guys do have any requests for certain coins, because hey, all season might be starting according to some people. I've not looked at that too much yet. Let's go ahead and look at that right now. What's BTC dominance doing? Come on. This is the weekly BTC dominance. Okay, maybe we are doing something. Maybe this is what I wanted to see, right? This is what I wanted to see. So yeah, if you guys do have any requests, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get to that. I'll probably be doing one more video later in this evening. So ciao, and until then, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way.